too. So here we are. We are starting live here on Grandstand Court. And one thing you don't want to do is challenge JW's hands on the backhand side, Jim.
Definitely. JW's backhand is probably the best backhand in the business, him or Ben. And there we see it again. Just JW just so tough on it on all sides, but just off that backhand flick is a tough shot.
Yeah, that's the kind of point that I think is really going to be beneficial for Dylan and J-Dub. I think the longer the point goes, the advantage to them, because they're the more consistent unattackable dinkers. And there's another unfortunate let court. So a quick 4-0 start here for Dylan and J-Dub. That's a rare forehand dink miss short by J-Dub.
JW generating a lot of power, obviously, off that forehand side. Kind of a no-fly zone.
Yeah, Duong is going to drive almost every one of those third balls. They're going to see Loong kind of crash to that tee. Yeah, I think you're seeing a strategic, error by the Loong team trying to attack the Johnson backhand. And he's just so good at leaning in that little backhand flick.
There we see the speed up again by Loong. They're trying to speed up against one of the toughest pairs in the world to speed up against.
Yeah, and after that,
Dylan Frazier and J.W. Johnson against Kwang Dong and Tyler Loong, game 1.
There's Dylan getting a little ambitious there. I thought that ball was attackable. He just went way too high with it. It's going to sail long. So second serve here. That's one thing you can't do when you play Tyler Loong. His biggest weapon is he has the best earning, in my opinion, in the history of pickleball. You cannot dink anything within 3 feet of Loong's sideline. And he's earning there, and that's his forehand side, so he has a lot of reach into the court as well. That's a great return.
You saw Duong try to drop. He's a guy who really favors the drive. We'll see if he tries to change strategy.
And to start each game, these players will have a brand new Vulcan ball in their hand. Vulcan, the official ball and the official paddle of the Mesa, Arizona Cup. Dylan got the ball he wanted there, and he had Duong, 2.5 feet behind the kitchen line. So when you get your opponent in that situation, you just want to roll it right to their feet. Doesn't have to be a lot of pace. Really, really good point there. We saw a lot of unattackable dink shots, and there's the lucky net court at the end. And you can see a very frustrated Loong reaching and groping blindly for that ball that got behind his body off that net cord. Frazier just got off a really tough singles loss, Jim, about an hour ago to the upstart Carpenter. Oh, see how long Frazier waited for that ball? That's the key to these shots, these around the post, is you have to wait. Look how long he waits for that ball to get outside of the post, and then he has the angle. Great play there by Frazier.
Dillon making a few unusual errors here, but they still lead at 0-8-1. Should be Tyler's serve, I believe.
Well, he served while the referee was calling the score, and that's a violation. If you serve before the referee calls the score, you get to reserve. But in this situation, he actually served while the referee was in the process of calling the score. So that's a violation. So that'll be a side out here. So Frazier will be serving here at 8-0-1. Or 8-1-1.
8-1-1, yes. Oh, beautiful backhand there by Dillon Frazier.
Yeah, and both Dillon and J-Dub sit pretty hard backhand. So if you are going to drive it to them, where you can't go is right to their backhand side. Another unforced there. Unforced error there. So that is going to get them to game point here in game one. And there you have it. Another backhand winner flick by J-Dubs.
The official ball of the PPA Tour.
Welcome back to Mesa and Mesa Arizona Cup. We've got grandstand action here. Johnson and Frazier against Loong and Duong. Johnson Frazier won game 1 11-1, and we just started game 2.
Yeah, Duong's got to realize he's not going to be able to hit it through Frazier and J-Dub. So if he's going to drive it, he should take a little pace off and get the ball down with a little more topspin to make their volleys a little tougher. Because the pace is not going to bother Dillon and J-Dub. They like that. So Quan's got to take a little pace off it and get the ball dipping more. Well, that's a really good attack ball by Loong. Loong does a really good job of being all the way up that line and leaning in. He's got deceptively long arms and very large hands, and that's a big advantage in pickleball. Look at the footwork here, Jim, on how quickly Dillon Frazier gets back to take that overhead out of the air, folks. It's so important to take that ball out of the air when you can, and don't let it drop behind you. Then you're at a huge disadvantage.
Well, at JW backhand, it's a really tough assignment we would talk about for Tyler and Kwong. Guys that want to speed up, they they're at a big disadvantage in the dig game, but tough to speed up against JW and Dylan.
You know, and even there, in a situation where Loong hit a terrific backhand little flick roll and got it below the net. And J-Dub just sitting and anticipating that ball down the middle. Terrific play there by J-Dub. Duong actually about an hour and a half ago played singles on this court and played well, but came out on the losing end of that. Yeah, really good choice there by Loong. He could have gone anywhere with that ball, and he loves going deep middle on that. He's also really good at that, at an inside out forehand on a sharp angle, so good choice there. Yeah, and that drive got up a little high. J-Dub didn't even need to hit that, but pounds it right into the body of Duong.
Side out back to Johnson Frazier, leading 1-0-1 in game 2. Already won game 1, 11-1.
Oh, terrific earning there by Dylan Frazier, and even a better cover by Duong. Look at him dig this out. But an easy finish
Kwong
for
did
Johnson.
everything he could there, but that was a big uphill climb.
Yeah, I love how Loong just really leans in there. Folks, when you lean in like what you see Tyler doing, number one, you get the ball at a higher apex. Number two, you take time away from your opponent. Comes back quicker. Yeah, that's trouble. When you hang it up high down the middle to either J-Dub or Dylan's forehand, you're done.
Loong and Duong kind of groping for a strategy here that'll work.
Well, it's really tough when you play J-Dub and Dylan. I've played against them 4 or 5 times in tournaments, and you know you're not going to outdink them, and you're not going to hit the ball through them. So it just takes a tremendous amount of patience and discipline. That's a terrific backhand punch volley. Thought Dylan might have gotten a little bit late, but it does catch that line. And Loong a little frustrated here, so they'll be serving at 1-3 here in game 2. So when they started game 2 here, they got a brand new Vulcan ball in their hand, the official ball of the PPA Tour and the official paddle.
There's that backhand again at JW.
Official paddle of the Mesa, Arizona Cup.
2-3-2 here in game 2.
Looked like Dylan caught up to it, just got a little bit cute with it, catches the net. So we are all square here in game 2 with Loong and Duong trying to capture this game and force a deciding game 3. Love how he takes that down the middle and deep with a lot of topspin. That's a very, very dangerous shot. I think, Jim, in this sport, the middle is underutilized, and we'll talk more about that as this match progresses. Right on cue, I think Loong hurt us.
Big forehand there.
Oh, terrific defense there by Loong and Duong. Forcing J-Dub into an error there. So they got the ball back at 3-3-1. That's a rare backhand volley miss by J-Dub, and I think part of it was a really good drive, but also, did you see Loong jet hard middle sitting on his forehand? I think that little pressure forced that error.
They've got Dylan and J-Dub on an odd score, so they're unwinding the stack, and it looks like a little bit of a strategy here to attack the running player when they're unwinding the stack. See if they do it again. Nope. Great point. Great patience by both sides.
Just hung it high enough that J-Dub can attack that, and he's so dangerous with that shot because he can go any direction with that little forehand flick roll topspin. That's a good shot by Loong. It looked like he waited a long time, kind of held him off, and then flicked it cross court. Great ball. Loong knew as soon as he hit that he fluffed it up. 2 balls too high.
Well, Dave, we see Tyler's definitely cheating toward the middle. Looks like Frazier and Johnson want to dink mainly with Duong. Tyler's really cheating middle.
Yeah, Loong's forehand dink a little too strong, and an easy finish there by Dylan. His favorite shot is that forehand roll.
Big overhead there by Tyler.
Terrific lob. Right on the line. Loong always have had a great overhead. You know, tennis players always have great overheads. That's one of my rules, is don't lob tennis players. Another rare forehand dink in the net. That one didn't even touch the tape. So Loong and Duong right in the thick of it here, Jim, in game 2.
5-5-1. Well, that should get us a timeout here pretty soon.
Yeah, that sailed just long, correctly called out. One of Dylan's favorite shots is that forehand. He can take it any direction with any spin. And one other thing I like about Dylan is he changes up the pace a lot on those forehand flick rolls. Along with Jim Kloss, Dave the Badger Weinbach, so proud to bring you all this live action here on the grandstand court, all afternoon and evening long. We have so many great matchups, Jim, coming on today.
Tyler with an error off the backhand. This is a fair number of errors by both teams in this particular game.
Great cover.
Oh, beautiful. Great reset there by Dylan, and toward the end of that point, setting it up for JW to put it away.
Really good setup there by J-Dub, and Dylan with the easy forehand put away. So take the lead here at 7-6. They're 4 points away from moving on. And that is not going to help their cause after that net cord, but they got a second serve here, serving at 7-6-2. Of course, this is a best 2 out of 3 games to 11. And we call that a villages lob. You know, one of the things I've watched a lot of J-Dub over the years, Jim, done a lot of his matches. He has really worked on the consistency of his third shot, both the drive and the drop. And I see he's changed a little bit of his technique on the backhand drop, and his consistency has really gone up. He used to miss too many thirds in the net, I always felt, and now he's given himself a little bit more margin.
Back to the Carvana Mesa Arizona Cup. Jim Kloss here with Dave Weinbach giving you grandstand action. We're in game 2 of Frazier and Johnson against Loong and Duong. That one a little bit wide. Serve back to Tyler Loong at 6-9-1. Frazier Johnson won game 1, 11-1.
Yeah, that's not going to work, Duong. He's got to realize that you're not going to hit it through these guys. So one of those balls, he either needs to reset it in the kitchen, so then he and his partner Loong can move from that transition zone to the kitchen line. He's not going to prevail if he's just driving balls from that transition zone, because J-Dub and Dylan just have way too much time to react to it.
9-6-1.
You don't see Loong miss too many dinks in the net
Kind of
like that, so I think he's feeling a little bit of pressure here, and here we have match point. And Frazier did not even need to hit that, but does to pad his stats, and there we have it, 11-1, 11-6.